are settling as Bunbury behind the ball.
That puts us at 82, 49, and 8 on the season, hitting at a 62.5% clip.
Back-to-back golden boots. That's 3 in a row for me. 3 too, man. Like, not a dime. That's called being for the people.
It's over! The Columbus Crew, 2023 MLS Cup champions!
All right, welcome back, everybody, to the MLS Live podcast on Sports Profit TV. As always, I'm your host, Cooper, and with me is Garrett at Just Some Footy. I'm at Sports Profit on Twitter, and we are back. We're going to make today a little bit of a quicker version. I've got crazy thunderstorms going on, got some flash flooding. I want to make sure that we get this in, get the winter sent out before the power potentially goes out. So gonna speed through it. We do have 5 plays today, so like we actually have kind of a loaded show, so we're gonna get to it. We got 2 units, 5 plays total. So let's jump into it, Garrett.
Before we jump into it, just remember, like, subscribe, do all that stuff to help out the channel. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, we really do appreciate it. The likes are a big deal, so if you're tuning in, just go ahead and hit that thumbs up. Makes a big difference. All right, and here we go. Let's rock and roll. First game on the docket is Charlotte. They're going to be back home for this match, hosting the Insigne-less Toronto FC. What do we got here, Garrett?
Yeah, so I'm going to jump on the under 2.5 here at a very nice -105. It is the price that really draws me to this under here. Charlotte, they only have scored 6 goals this season. They do have 10 expected goals, but that's just showing me that there's a lack of offensive talent with this team, which I think we know, right? You've got Capetti, who hasn't been playing; he's hurt. Abada is coming along slowly, right? I think there is talent there, but as we see with most, I think we've been spoiled in the past couple of years with most DPs coming to MLS. It takes him about 6 to 8 months to really get acclimated and get going. So he's coming along slowly, which is not super surprising. On defense, they have an expected goals against of a 6.9 through 7 games. So less than 1 goal a game. All 3 of their home games have gone under this total this season so far. And then we get Toronto. Toronto's only scored once since Insigne got injured 3 games ago. And both of those games did see 4 goals each. So like this isn't like a gimme play. Toronto could absolutely implode again. However, they are in the middle of the pack defensively with a 1.28 expected goals a game. So not terrible. I like that. Like I said, I like not having to eat a lot of juice here. I do expect Toronto to make defensive adjustments after just getting annihilated in an embarrassing fashion last match. And then again, so if they make adjustments, and then Charlotte, like if you can't score, if you're struggling to score, and you have a team that's like got to have like defensive at the forefront of the mind, right? Because Toronto's not scoring. And so they know like we can't give up multiple goals and expect to get points. So I think Toronto packs it in here, being on the road, really focuses on defense. Flores, their holding midfielder, has still been solid, even in those big blowouts. So I still like what I'm seeing from him. I just think, I think this is where it turns a little bit and we stop seeing these Toronto blowouts that we've seen the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, so what I like about this one is both teams have new managers. Obviously, Dean Smith rolls into Charlotte and almost overnight, fixed the defensive woes. Not a ton of roster change as far as the back line and stuff, but just way more organized than Charlotte. We've seen that already. Abada, he's only played like 2.5 games, and the cohesiveness is just not there yet. Toronto, same thing. They had Herdman come in. We heard Insigne talk about how it's just been such a big difference having a coach that the team has bought into. You talked about Flores, the Honduran defensive mid. He's been fantastic. He's been one of the best in the league at that position, which is a big part of the defense. And Toronto, other than getting blown out, last match day, the defensive performances have been much improved as well. So I think we can totally look for, a bounce back from TFC here defensively. get their act together and make sure, let's put an emphasis on not letting 3 or 4 goals in again. So I like your approach here, kind of targeting bounce back for Toronto, and then, a Charlotte defense that's been improved, and attack has been kind of stale. So let's get a no sweater here. I think we deserve one.
Yeah, I'd be very happy with a 1-0 Charlotte game.
I could see a 1-0 Charlotte. All righty, on to the next one here. This is going to be my first play of the show. I'm going to go on the spread here. You're not going to see me play a lot of -1s in MLS. We typically don't have huge favorites in Major League Soccer. I just love what I'm seeing right now from New York Red Bull. These guys, we've talked about it for years. They're organized. They know how to defend their goal at home. And on the road too. I mean, these guys have just been stellar defensively. Top 2, basically 3 years in a row. Goals allowed, XG allowed. They're right back up there again, top 2 in XG allowed. And now the attack has taken such a huge step forward with bringing Forsberg in from Red Bull and Leipzig, and also Barlow has just been awesome. He's been phenomenal to start the year. So I think this is a good spot. I think Chicago has shown some strides, obviously. Like, they've shown some strides, but I love the matchup here for New York Red Bull, because we've talked about, yes, Chicago went and got Kuipers, right? Chicago doesn't have the capability to break down teams that are organized defensively, and that's not going to get any better here on the road against the New York Red Bull side that's really fantastic defensively. Kuipers is just not getting service. I don't see it getting any better with this matchup. I think this could potentially be a showcase game at home here for New York Red Bull. And then again, with the -1, if they win, you push, no harm, no foul. But I think this is potentially a very good spot and a really good matchup for New York Red Bull.
No, I like Red Bulls a lot this week. I had a parlay with their money line lined up for the show potentially. But with you being on -1, I just said, I'll save that for Twitter or X, and we'll just talk about the -1 here, because I love that this is plus money. I love the matchup. The Red Bulls have just changed. They've just done nice tactical tweaks to their system, and it's no longer the energy drink soccer that we're used to seeing. They're actually passing more and actually like making the ball move like at a more rhythmic pace, and it's not as chaotic. It's not as just all gas no brakes, which is actually leading to better performances for this team. So I think you see it. Forsberg is definitely a big part of that. We've seen what Lewis Morgan being back after missing last season has done. That's almost like getting a new signing, right? When he's been gone all season and now he's back. Team's just humming. I still don't know if Van Zier's good, but the stats are good. So you just have to take it, right? Like, I don't know if he's trying to win the Golden Boot or most assists this season. I don't know. We'll find out. But he's off at just a blistering pace. Another great spot for Red Bulls.
Yeah, and just a quick correction. I said Barlow for some reason. I was referring to Lewis Morgan. I don't know why Barlow. I don't know why that popped into my head, but yeah, Lewis Morgan, great to have him back out there. And with those kind of guys around him, with Morgan and Forsberg around Van Zier, I mean, it's probably a big part of the reason why he's thriving. But alrighty, on to the next one here. And HU Capper in the building. Yes, please do fire Nick Cushing. Good to get that message across. Good to see you.
Not before Wolf.
Now Wolf first, then Cushing. Yeah, in that order. In that order. Don't forget it. All right, on to the next one here. And now we're getting into the meat and potatoes, because this is a 2-unit play.
So, yeah, I mean, like, it's a game with Miami, so we're going over, right? Like, we played the over 2.5 for Sporting last weekend. That came through in the first half. It was lovely with Sporting getting off to a 3-0 start. And then they choked up 3 goals in the second half. So Sporting KC is just playing great footy right now, 4 goals. They did start slow this season, but like I said, the overs have been rolling over the past month. The same can be said for Miami. I mean, Miami is just goals every game. If either team isn't scoring 2+, then they're conceding 2+. You look at Miami, 1.73 expected goals a game right now. Beautiful. And that's with like so much rotation as they're going through CONCACAF Champions Cup, right? And they're still just the offense is still just scoring buckets and buckets. And then, but their defense, we said it might be questionable. And yeah, it's at a 1.5 expected goals against the game right now. So KC can certainly get theirs here in this game as well, especially being at home. Miami is going to be on short rest, coming off a tough must-win game in Mexico tomorrow night. I'd expect all the healthy studs to start even on short rest. That obviously I don't know if they'll go 90, but I would expect whoever doesn't go 90 tomorrow night to at least put in 60 here with KC. That's just what Tata's usually been doing after a series. So depending on, it doesn't matter what the result is tomorrow. I think they play, and then you've got Agata for KC. He might be back to his 2022 form when he burst onto the scene, came into the league, played 13 matches, had 8 goals. He's at 6 games, 3 goals right now. Just looks good, and it's what KC needed, especially with Polito getting older, battling injuries. They've even ran Polito at the 10 a little bit this year, or like a shadow striker almost underneath Agata. I think that looks good too. And so, yeah, I just, well, Sporting's playing where they're scoring, but also conceding goals left and right. I was really shocked to get this at 2.5. And so I'm going to fire on it while it's still playable. I don't think this line stays at 2.5 by the weekend.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised to see this not being at a 3 with the style that Sporting Kansas City has been playing. Obviously, like you said, I guess Messi is probably up in the air for this one.
No, he's good. They came off the bench against almost all the studs came off the bench against Colorado. They're gonna go here against Monterrey. Of course, we'll have to see how the game shakes out. But even if it's a close one and they go for most of the game, and let's say they lose, and so they're out of CONCACAF Champions. Well, now it's league focus, right? So those guys are going to play. Those guys have been playing when they're healthy. What's been getting them right now is just little nicks and stuff. But Messi's good. I mean, he'll start tomorrow night,
Okay.
and I would expect him to start Saturday if he gets through the Monterrey game, no issues.
Yeah, that's huge for me. I mean, Messi on an MLS pitch, if he's on the field and he starts the game and 2.5 is playable, play it against anybody. Like it's just like, and obviously Sporting Kansas City being at home, that can absolutely contribute. But Messi being in the game,
well, even if he comes off the bench, look what happened in Colorado.
Yeah,
down 1-0 at halftime. Messi comes in, he scores one and assists the other one.
Yeah,
like it's just, and they end up getting a draw because Colorado scores late. But no, goals are going to come when Messi's on the field. And so, like, yeah, when you get these 2.5s, you just have to play them.
Yeah, it's just a cheat code, to be honest. But real quickly, before we get to our final 2 plays of the show, and we will also have one more 2 unit to end the show. I've got to plug our sponsor very quickly, OddsJam. Really awesome arbitrage and plus EV tool. If you don't know what arbitrage betting is, you got to look into it. Shoot me a DM on Twitter or just click the link. I'll have the link upload in the bio as soon as the show goes final. I've got a promo code PROF35, 35% off any of the OddsJam tools. The plus EV tool is actually really cool too, but I personally use the arbitrage tool more than any of the tools. And it's something that everybody should be doing. If you're betting on sports on a daily basis and you have any bankroll whatsoever, it's a no-brainer. I mean, it's a no-brainer. It's we don't use the term guaranteed money. This is going to win no matter what. We don't talk like that on the show because like we've done this for a long time. That's disingenuous. We don't talk like that. That's not how sports betting works. But arbitrage is a completely different approach. Because you are using multiple books to create guaranteed small percentage profits, and it's a really good tool to have in your back pocket. So, yeah, we will. If you're interested, like I said, shoot me a DM. But all right, back to the grind here. All right, yeah, this next one is mine. I am going to be back in St. Louis City money line in this one, hosting my Austin FC. We kind of kicked the can about this one a little bit before the show. Like neither of us are in love with St. Louis City this year necessarily, but this is just an Austin fade. Like St. Louis City, it's going to be bumping no matter what. Like they have a heck of an atmosphere there. I wouldn't say St. Louis is better than a middle of the pack MLS team, but Austin's probably the worst team in Major League Soccer right now. And here's the crazy thing about Austin: they've been fortunate to get the results that they've gotten. That is what, and for me, like it's driving me crazy because like I just want to get Wolf out and just let the rebuild begin. Just like let's get a fresh slate. Let's not suck forever. Don't extend the pain. Let's lose like 10 straight and just get them out. Austin, a couple of metrics. So they've scored 11 goals this year. They only have like 7 XGs. So big difference there. Same thing defensively as well. Like they should be conceding a lot more goals than they've actually conceded. They should be way worse. As bad as they are, they should actually be worse, which is really, really impressive. But yeah, so I'm gonna back the home team here. This is an Austin fade. They are the worst team in Major League Soccer, so I'm fading them against almost anybody on the road, especially at a playable price. Garrett, I know you like this one too, so what do you like about it?
Yeah, I mean, you touched on it. Like the metrics say one thing, the table says another, right? So they're sitting 8th on the table. It's a playoff spot with 2 wins, 3 draws, and 2 losses.
Which is nuts.
But honestly, it is hilarious that they're sitting 8th. Like some of the results they've gotten are actually just funny, right? Like you don't know how they get there. There is such a thing as luck. Like everyone needs a little bit of luck, right? And Austin are just gobbling it up right now. I do think this team is going to come crashing down. I don't even think it's a great matchup for St. Louis. St. Louis really struggles to break down a deep block. And that's what I fully expect Austin to play here is just sit back and just absorb. However, like you said, you touched on the defense. This is the worst defense, analytically speaking, in MLS. Like they're almost a goal worse than the second worst team on defense, and that's Nashville. So like it's not even close how bad this team is on defense.
Yeah.
And so yes, when you get a playable money line against a team that they at least know how they want to play, right? St. Louis knows how they want to play. They know the system, so you don't have to have studs out there. I think St. Louis is the play here easily on the money line. I wouldn't go more than 1 unit, like I said, because it's not the best matchup for them, but they should still get the win here. Ricky asked about both teams to score over 2.5. I'd honestly just rather have the over 3 here because the analytics just say so much about Austin that if Austin got blanked here, I'm not surprised. I'm not banking on Austin to score here. I don't love the total here, like if I'm being honest. But if you like the total, if you like goals here, I would definitely lean more toward the over 3 than the both teams to score over 2.5.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if Austin got blamed. I mean, look, I hate to even say this because we've talked about teams like this before, and then they come out and have they have a lucky performance or whatever. But Austin is the worst team in Major League Soccer. I say that with no doubt in my mind. Their results have been unbelievably fortunate. I cannot see it continuing for very long. So, yeah, I'm cool with the fade. All right. Next one on tap here is going to be our last play of the show, and it's going to be another 2 unit.
Yep. So here we are, Vancouver, LA. I'm going Vancouver team total over 1.5 here versus this Galaxy defense. I think we've seen the Galaxy enough this season now to know that they are going to score a lot potentially, and they are also going to concede a lot. You're getting a confident and free scoring Vancouver side who scored 7 goals in their last 2 games versus a Galaxy defense that's allowing 1.82 expected goals a game. That's just too much. It's too high. Like you can't be successful with that kind of defense, but that they don't have a choice. Like their defense is what it is. You can play the full game over 3 here if you like Galaxy to score 2. We do talk about the Galaxy. We do like this attack. But what's interesting here is Vancouver's defense has actually been very good this season. So it's a really interesting matchup to see what Galaxy can do. Like, how much damage can they actually do? The Galaxy probably do get at least one. And almost any side playing the Galaxy will need to score 2+ to beat them. The Galaxy defense will certainly give up opportunities to the Whitecaps. And if the over 3 comes home, then I'm positive Vancouver team total over 1.5 as it comes home.
Absolutely.
So I'm on the team total over instead of the over 3, because you could have the event of a 2-1 Vancouver win, stuff like that, and then your 3's pushing. So it really comes down to your juice tolerance. I don't mind it for Vancouver to score 2. I really, really like the way they're playing, sitting I think first in the West. I went big on them in the offseason to finish. I think it was top 7 or whatever, because it was just a silly line. I don't think that's going to have any problems. And so, yeah, team total over 1.5 for me, but I'm okay with the over 3 if you want to lean more into the Galaxy.
Yeah, so I saw last week Krylock got benched and the attack looked really good. So
that what the Vancouver rolled out last week is the closest thing they've had to their best 11 so far this season.
That's what we want. And I mean, do we feel like that continues, or?
I think so. Yes. I mean,
Yeah,
I think Krylock can contribute, but like he was in there mainly because White was injured.
Okay.
Now that White's healthy, I mean, White's the striker. Like, he's not taking that away, but can he slot in there with the midfield next to Gauld? Maybe. I mean, I don't love it. Right. I think he's much more like a 60, 70-minute sub and let him poach around. But no, I still love how they're looking right now.
Yeah, I also feel like having Fafa out there is kind of an element that they've missed. Some speed out wide. So even though he's getting up there in age, but he hasn't lost the speed yet. So
Fafa can still run.
He can still move. Yeah, cool. I like it. Short and sweet show today. I like this one. We know that LA Galaxy defense is going to be susceptible all year. Hopefully this is a really fun shootout with goals going in from both sides, but I feel great about Vancouver. I think they're going to create a lot of chances on this one.
I love this slate in general. I'll have a couple of parlays I post after the show on Twitter. Like, there's just going to be, there's a lot of opportunity on this slate. This slate is 20 times better than the slate we had last week. Yeah.
When you sent your plays over, I think everything but the under I had written down in some facet, at least as a lean, some officially as well. So I think we're kind of seeing this one kind of on the same page here, which historically has been good on the show. But yeah,
there's not a chance I lay juice with NYCFC probably this season.
Oh, what are we talking about here?
You give me a plus money, maybe I'll think about it. But no, there's not a chance with any juice that I play NYC.
Maybe a coaching change, and maybe if you get the young guys in there against.
Yeah, I mean, you got to bench Bakwarar, you got to get Cushing out. Like, there's a lot that needs to happen.
I agree.
Jose, right, thank you, my brother.
Yep, appreciate everybody tuning in. Like I said, trying to kind of wrap up the show quick today because got some thunderstorm action going on. People down the road have already lost power earlier. So, hit the thumbs up before you go, and make sure you're subscribed. Follow us on Twitter at MLSLIVE Podcast, and we'll see you guys next Tuesday, same time.
Best of luck.
Bye.